everybody, what's up? Welcome. My name is Amanda. Thank you so much for being here with me. Today is a very beautiful spring Sunday morning. I live in Utah, and so spring is a very bipolar situation here. It's normally not spring until May. I get the most excited about as a plant enthusiast is all of the new plants that I want to add the second it starts to feel like spring. I want to go and get a coffee, go to Barnes & Noble, get a new book, and then hit every single place that sells plants on my way home. But I'm restraining from that this year, even though it's probably my favorite pastime activity, because one of the goals I've set for myself is to be more intentional with the plants that I have. Now, downsizing for me isn't something that I'm necessarily interested in, but I do, however, want to be intentional in the fact that the plants that I have in my collection are plants that I enjoy caring for and are plants that thrive in my care. You know, I know that we all have those plants where they just kind of get neglected because we don't necessarily enjoy growing them, or for whatever reason, they just don't align with your care, and so they don't do their greatest with you. So I thought it would be good for a check of myself, as well as just sharing this with all of the other people in the houseplant community that are interested, some plants that are on the chopping block, if you will. This is their final growing season for me, so if I don't rekindle my love with them, or I'm not getting better at their care, I'm gonna look to get rid of them at the end of the growing season. I'm trying to keep my mind open to maybe like an end of year purge. Some of these I might let go sooner, some of them I might decide to keep. But as of right now, these are plants that I feel like, I don't know, maybe they would be better in a different home. So if you're interested in going around my collection and seeing plants that I'm thinking about weeding out, stick around, hang out, and let's start looking at my plants. Okay, so we'll start over here on the floor. These are like my random plants I don't necessarily know what to do with. These three syngoniums I love, they're not going anywhere. But the first one that I'm considering getting rid of is my philodendron pink princess. Now I know that this has kind of been hated on by people for a while, so it's already been, I don't know, maybe weeded out of a favorites list, but I still really love the pink princess. I just don't necessarily know if I want to give that much retail space to such a large plant. So where it's self-heading, and I know that the growth can increase significantly, like, do I want to find a place for this plant to thrive? Undecided. This is also a plant that I'm thinking about letting go of this year. This is an Aglaonema Milky Way. I don't know, I know I'm trying to get into Aglaonemas, but for me personally, I just don't really feel like they do it for me. Like, everything looks the same. It grows at a steady rate. There's nothing really exciting happening with this guy. In my Millsbo tall cabinet, I do have a couple of plants that I'm thinking of getting rid of too. So this one right here is my Hoya SP Silver Cloud. I just don't really like the growth pattern on this one. So it's not that I don't like the plant, it's just that the growth pattern is weird. I have put some cloning paste on this plant, so maybe once it starts like growing a new growth pattern, or pushing any new growth, I guess I should say, maybe I'll be more interested. But as of right now, I don't know, I just feel like this one's not really doing it for me. Another one that makes me really sad that I'm thinking of getting rid of is my Anthurium Queen. So this I purchased from the Green Escape as a scratch and dent Anthurium. And I just honestly, I don't know what this plant needs. It's been a one-leaf wonder ever since I've had it. I've tried it in Fluval, I've tried it in Pon, I tried it in Leca, and now I have it back in an aeroid mix. I'm thinking of mixing this aeroid mix with some tree fern fiber just because I do think it dries out. But yeah, this Queen Anthurium has been really hard for me to take care of, and I just don't know if I am the most equipped plant caregiver to love this little gem as it should be loved. So it makes me sad to say that, but I don't want to keep just leaving it all dingy like that if I don't need to. Okay, next up, another plant that I'm thinking of getting rid of right here is my Alocasia azulani. Now this plant is seriously so cute, and I love the venation on this. It's really pretty, but it's always a one-leaf wonder. Like, how can it produce another corm, but it can't grow two leaves? I will never understand. I've heard that this one is a little bit more finicky of alocasias, so maybe I just am not knowledgeable enough in alocasias to care for them, but this may be the last season we have together. This one I've already decided to get rid of. This is my variegated Maranta. I took a whole bunch of cuttings off of the plant because it was not in good shape. I think this plant is beautiful, but it just is very neglected in my collection. I don't think it intrigues me enough to care for it, which is why it's been neglected for so long. The next one that I have is right back here. This is my Hoya Inner Obovata, which has kind of turned to a Obovata Splash. Now I'm putting it in my cabinet because I'm going to see if it will stop making these like wonky leaves. So I know with larger leaves for Hoyas, they need more humidity in order to like come out. But I don't know, I really don't like how these leaves come out. So if it's able to thrive in my cabinet, I'll keep it in here. But I don't know, it may just be a plant due to the leaf shape and being so inconsistent in my care that I just might let it go this year. Another plant that I'm thinking of letting go of this year is my philodendron silver sword. Now, I do think philodendron silver swords are so pretty. This is the third time that I've restarted this plant. And when I initially got it, I loved it so much. I still find this like variegation, like this blue silver, so beautiful. But again, philodendrons just take up so much space. And I don't know if I love it enough to give it the widespread space and, you know, how much that will take away from getting other plants. I don't know if I want to give it to that. Like, do I love it that much to give you this much space? Unsure. So we'll see about that one, but I am undecided if it's going to stick around with me this year. Another one that you can't really see is back here. This is my Philodendron Splendid. This plant is seriously indestructible. Like, if you are looking to get into a large velvety leaf plant, I would recommend the Philodendron Splendid. It's very easygoing, very easy care. But I don't know, I just feel like there are cooler plants out there with large leaves that I could get. But I feel like that's also kind of selfish. So we'll see. I do love this plant, but I don't know. Look at how pretty this is in the new varigosum leaf. That's pretty. Okay, focus. The next plant, I'm gonna have to take it down. So let me find it in here. Okay, so this plant surprises me that I'm putting it in this category, but this is my Monstera Aria. Now, when I got this, I was very, very lucky to get it at the time that I did because this plant was still really expensive when I purchased it. And somebody was trying to raise money for something in their life. And so they sold me a one leaf cutting for $40, which I don't even think nowadays you could get a Monstera Aria for that price. And this was a few years ago. The reason I'm thinking about letting this plant go is for a Monstera, it is so slow. Like, I've had this plant for 2 years and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 leaves on it. Like, that's just insane to me that it only has 10 leaves on it for a Monstera. I do really love the variegation on it. It does kind of like a higher variegated, low variegated every other leaf. So I had this variegation and then it put out this one with very minimal variegation up here. I do have another leaf right here getting ready to come out. But I don't know, it is very happy. I do love Monsteras, but I just sometimes question, like, maybe there's another specimen out there. Maybe there's another Monstera variegation that I would enjoy more. So I don't know, if you have a Monstera Aria in your collection, does it grow slower than other Monsteras? I don't know. I've never heard of that before, but let me know. So this right here is my Philodendron gloriosum, and I've had this plant for 3 years. It started out as a teeny tiny seedling, so the growth that I've gotten on it is pretty significant from where it was before, but it is such a slow grower. Like, I just don't think I have the patience for this. So I am being honest with myself that I would rather let this one go and potentially save it for a larger one, a larger specimen. I put it on a pole thinking that if I was able to grow this up a pole, I would be more interested in keeping it, but I have it shoved back here on this little, I don't even know, stand. It's on the very bottom and it's really only getting light from my little Acrobar cabinet. So I'm not even giving it the proper care, which shows me that I don't want it anymore. So this one, I don't know if I should like chop it up into like different individual cuttings with a growth point and get rid of, or I should just get rid of it like this. I don't know, but I don't find any joy or excitement from this little guy anymore. And so he can go to somebody else who's excited to have him. In my rehab cabinet, this right here is my Alocasia Jacqueline. Super cute, I know. Now, Alocasia Jacqueline or Tanderosa I think is really beautiful, but mine, I only had one leaf at a time. And that is probably my ultimate pet peeve of alocasias, is just the one leaf wonder. So I have some of the stalk in there trying to propagate it again. I think I have one more piece of it somewhere in a different cup. But if it comes back and it's able to grow, I can keep a minimum of 3 leaves on it at a time. I will keep this one. If not, that cup will get tossed. The next one in here is going to be my Alocasia Dragon Scale that my son shook up inside this cup, but still seems to be thriving. I want a dragon scale so bad. I really want a variegated elbow dragon scale, but I cannot for the life of me keep this Alocasia alive. So this is my last chance. I got a corm in a trade with somebody. So if this one is able to grow and I'm able to get it to a place where it's sustainable, then I'm probably going to take the plunge and buy myself a variegated elbow dragon scale, just because that's been a wish list plant for me for a couple of years now. So next up, I have the Scindapsus silvery and or Argraeus. I don't know what has happened to my plant care over the last couple of years. I used to have so many Scindapsus in my collection, but now I'm down to this one and my Trubii Moonlight. So if this one continues to trail and it stays really cute like this, I'll keep it. But I'm having an issue with Scindapsus where they only want to tendril. And I don't really want to put these on a pole or have them be on a really long trellis. So if it's able to trail, I'm going to keep it. If it starts throwing out a lot of runners, then I'm going to get rid of it. So this one we definitely have to invest more time to see, but I do think it's really pretty. Okay, and last up on my list is this Hoya. Now I'm not going to be able to remember the name. Croniana? No, it's not a Croniana. I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen, but this is a splash version. So this one has taken forever for this plant to even grow in the first place. And so it's finally starting to put out some new leaves, but if it's not splashy, I'm probably just going to get rid of this one. I really wanted the silver on here, but if it's not going to be variegated, then I'll just let this one go. I do have the top cutting of this one that has grown into a new plant, and it's all green. And I actually think this one is really beautiful. So I may just keep the all green one and get rid of the splashy one if it's reverted. But yeah, I can't believe I don't remember the name of this one. But like I said, I'll put it on the screen for you guys. So those are the plants that I'm thinking about getting rid of this season. I don't know if there are any of them that I called out that you're like, Amanda, get your life together. You're lucky to have that plant. Let me know, because I feel like sometimes I just have so many houseplants and like it's hard for them to stand out maybe in my collection since I have so many plants. I'm not really sure. I don't want it to feel like it's a hassle. So that's why I'm being more conscious this year of if I do have plants in my collection that aren't continuing to make me feel excited about growing them, then that's probably a key indicator that somebody else would enjoy them and I should pass them on to a new home. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video and felt a little camaraderie in the overwhelming amount of houseplants we all have. And I hope that you and your plants are doing well and you are choosing plants that make you happy. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye!
Damn.